Greco Korea, I got a lot of memories of this one. Some are good, some are not as good. Some are, it's just I feel really closely and strongly about this one. Similar. I was talking about Diallo, just a kid that takes himself seriously, right? He's all about the business. He's here to work, right? And it was evident, like from day one. He transferred in, like here's this kid coming into my 5th period PE class. We're in the weight room, like street clothes, not dressed out first day. Like what's going on? What are we doing in this class? What's happening? Had to talk after class. His back was hurt. I'd hurt his back training or something or whatever. Like, I don't know, man, we do a lot of this stuff here. We lift weights, we take it seriously. He's like, yeah, and me too. That's why I'm here, right? Just a kid that takes himself seriously, takes football seriously. He's got goals, right? He is moving, he is going places. When I'm selling, I don't get a chance to recruit the kids to high school. I don't get a chance to sell the program. The principal does that, the administration does that, right? He had to figure that out on his own. Like, I'm coming to Folsom for a reason. So he had to show up on my roster in 5th period before I even had a chance to talk about it or talk to him about Folsom. All right, and I think on that first day, that first week, I'll never forget it. I was like, hey man, like on Saturday, like we're testing. Test all the kids in the weight room, Folsom Open 1, like on a Saturday, end of January 28th or 29th. And he didn't know how to do an overhead squat or a snatch or whatever. He wasn't gonna lift weights, right? But you better be here. You better be here. Your whole class is lifting, they're going first. Right, I think the Jazz Festival kicked us out of the PE classroom or something, so we were outside on the blacktop, right? And we're outside on the blacktop lifting. I don't know if you guys remember this. It was him in his jeans and his hat and his do-rag and his tank top, and Greco, who had just showed up with him, they were both there all day long, loading, all day long. Like, what are we doing out here on the blacktop, like lifting weights? Like, he worked all day long. It was new to him, whatever. I don't know what this is all about. And he was there all day long. And then Mel Tucker shows up. Mel Tucker was the new head coach at Michigan State. Right? Mel Tucker showed up. He had just signed a $110 million contract. Showed up on the blacktop at Folsom High School on that January. Right? And he pointed out, this kid, who are these guys? What are they doing? How come they're not lifting or whatever? I was like, these kids they just showed up. They just transferred here. They take themselves seriously as football players. They're trying to do some things. And he's like, all right, well, we'll circle back. We'll see how this thing goes. We went in the office, we ended up talking about Ari Patu and whatnot, and he was recruiting Ari that day 4 years ago, and like the next day, like it's Greco right back to work, whether it's 5th period, and then we get closed out of, 2 months later, closed out of 5th period with COVID. So now we're like distance learning, here's some weights, take them home, get a workout in, right? And then we're coming out of COVID, and he was, I don't know about this Folsom thing, I don't know, we got a lot going on, he's getting pulled in a bunch of different directions. Another kid who's, got a lot going on, right? So ended up making the decision to stay. I'm a varsity guy. I'm playing varsity football. He's coming down on a kickoff team, knocking the ball out, getting into arguments with Josh Tremaine about who knocked the ball out against, Lincoln High School. He's the one who's ripping the ball out against De La Salle in the NorCal championship game. Kid played every day, every down, every minute. Did everything we asked him to do. We had a bunch of guys go down on the offensive side of the ball this year. Steps in the section championship game, catching 5, 6, 7 balls, getting the ball down all the way down the goal line, giving our team a chance to win. A versatile football player, all those values that he learned at home, all that value he brought to campus to work and be a part of it was on full display. And I couldn't be happier for this guy, going on playing college at the next level, the level that he's at. All right, so we have Greco Korea.